How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ralph. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be going into some Pokemon rumors, leaks, everything like that. So, yeah, let's get started. First things first is this post right here. Now, this is actually from 4chan originally. I even have the original post right here. But it's a bit more concise and neatly packaged here on Reddit instead by Envy Goes Quack. So, I thought we'd take a look at what this one is about. But here's what it says. Starts off with this picture of all the different kind of types with all the different plates for Arceus. But here's what it basically says, though. Found this on 4chan. It all seems really cool, but I doubt it'll happen. They didn't even elaborate on the new Pokemon forms type chart. By the way, so it says 139 new Pokemon. 19 of those, or I guess extra on top of that, 19 regional variants. DLC brings 9 new Pokemon and 12 new regional variants, buffs too many old Pokemon abilities, moves, nerfs too many Gen 8 Pokemon abilities and moves, etc. Right? So for example here, Politoed plus 10 HP, Florges 9 plus defense, plus 12 special attack, Shield Aegislash plus 10 defense, plus 10 special defense, then minus 5 special attack, I'm guessing, and Sword Aegislash plus 10 attack, plus 10 special attack, plus 5 speed. Rocky Minior, which gets minus 10 speed, jeez, and Core Minior plus 10 speed. So, an example of ability moves: Unseen Fist deals half damage through Protect. Transistor and Dragon's Maw only boost by 1.33 times, like Fairy and Dark Aura. Guerrilla Tactics only boosts by 1.2 times, but locks you into one attack still. Given to Vigoroth, but not slacking, Behemoth Blade made 95 accuracy, Behemoth Bash made 95 accuracy, but based on defense. Still no Body Press for Zamazenta, Glacial Lance nerfed to 120 power, 90 accuracy, Astral Barrage nerfed to 110 power, 90 accuracy, Precipice Blades and Origin Pulse buffed to 90 accuracy, type chart given, and giving old Pokemon fitting types being played around with again. Example, Darmanitan plus fighting, Rudgerous Ground to Rock, Berserker plus fighting. Interesting. New items: Adaptite works like Eviolite, but for attack and special attack. Choice Weight increases damage of physical and special attacks by 1.33 times, but cuts special speed, I'm guessing, by 0.8 times. Locks user into a 1 physical and 1 special to compensate. Reworked items, power items raise the stats. They increase EVs for by 1.3 times, but cut speed. Power Anklet and Power Weight increase attack, defense, special attack, and special defense by 1.1 times. And the Pinch Berries heal 50% again. Now half HP activation though. Terrain's back to 1.5 times power. More weather terrain abilities distribution. Gimmick is like Z moves. User needs to hold an item and have a move of the type they want to change to. Changes secondary type. Always adds secondary to pure type Pokemon. Takes effect when they hit the field like primals. Some Pokemon have new forms with it. Sylvally and Arceus change multi attack judgment to this type. Arceus can change primary with move in first move slot, like conversion with a HA. That Arceus from the PLA obtained upon transfer can be ability passed for others. So there you go. I'm gonna be honest. This one is very heavy on like the statistics when it comes to like battles and all that. And personally, I'm not really the biggest fan of this being the gimmick. I like gimmicks because they're gimmicky, which might sound stupid. I know for a lot of people, they want it to be like a gimmick to be something that fits well into a competitive play, right? And I think, logically speaking, I think Megas were pretty broken in terms of competitive play, like in some way or shape, right? But I don't know how Z moves would work again. I'm sorry, but like he's not saying that they're going to be exactly Z moves, but just the idea of something similar to Z moves, I'm not a big fan of. I'm going to be honest. I'm not like, like the biggest fan of this one. I'm not the biggest fan of this. So it is what it is. Just wanted to share this one with you. But let's move on to the next thing on the agenda, which is this right here. So this comes back to something we covered in a previous video, which is that one of these riddles that we got, one of these posts by Riddler Koo, who's, if you don't know already, a leaker of Legends Arceus information and a leaker of BDSP information. He leaked info for those games last year in 2021, and he's basically returned and is giving us new info. And one of his riddles is hinting towards 2 regional forms. One of these regional forms is so far stated to be, or at least we think, it's a Tauros or some sort of like bull-based Pokemon is going to get a regional form. So Tauros is the most likely one, is what we think. But on top of that, there's another Pokemon that's going to get a new form, some kind of rat, some kind of mouse of sorts. And somebody has a bit of an interesting idea. If we not only follow the clockwise order, but the ascending order when counting numbers, we end up with those colors you mentioned. Honestly, the pinkish color fits better with Azurill rather than its 2 evolutions. And its normal fairy type fits better than Water Fairy. And right here, we're talking about these like numbers. You can see right here, these numbers correlate to numbers in like hex numbers that you can find in like a color picker, right? So you can basically match them in there. You can see right here how that works, right? You get a color picker and you put in these like numbers right here. So 3C or 9A and whatnot. And that will kind of give you, if you mash them together, if you mash all the ones together here that you see in these like spots, if you mash them together, you get different colors. And in this case, the colors we got here do really like actually match up well with that of Meryl's, like, evolutionary line and whatnot. So I would love to know you guys' thoughts on this. Do you think Meryl is going to get a regional form or not? We know Tauros most likely is getting one based on the riddles, or at least some sort of like some Pokemon that's a bull is going to get something at least. But we'll have to wait and see how that's going to, actually pan out, how that's actually going to look, and we'll see what happens with that. But next up, we have something interesting from Soul Silver. She says, see, good things come from fun speculation. This gave me an idea that I actually believe could be another possible explanation of the Scarlet and Violet gimmick. Imagine you can switch and rotate between types like with strong and agile style by pressing L or R. Maybe Morpeko was a hint after all. So it continues on here. The only complication is, how does this work for an already dual-typed Pokemon? Say you have a Dragon Fighting type, then you use the gimmick on it. Do the types split and gain a third type, so it would look like Fighting, L and Dragon R, and you rotate between each type every turn. With Fire being on the right side there and Fighting on the left, and Dragon is just kind of like the standard one in this case. For the remainder of the battle, like Megas, or would the original type not split and you only rotate between two options, Dragon Fighting, L, or Fire instead? Also, would a single type Mon then gain two types, or just swap with and add one new type to rotate into? Obviously, the catch is you would only be one type each turn, but you could swap between three types each turn. There may also be a penalty for using this. This kind of lines up with the Uncle info, which is that it's similar to Final Fantasy job changing, but with types. Also, kind of with Eclipse's triple battle hint, all based on Ku's three types. I still think we're missing something, so this is just another possible theory. I'm literally going nuts trying to figure this one out. What should just be you give your Pokemon a held item that gives you a third type for 3 turns, seriously. Which, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I do think something like Agile style and Strong style, like switching between the typings like that, would actually be way cooler. I just think it would be way more interesting. Of an approach, of an idea, of a concept. In my mind, I think that would be way cooler. But, of course, as per usual, there's no guarantee this will happen the way that, we've talked about it right now. But, again, I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this, because, honestly, the gimmick is the one thing that, like, we have a weird situation with, because we're speculating about this whole type change thing, which there's no guarantee that's going to be the case, right? We're just assuming that's going to be the case based on all these riddles and stuff. But, honestly, do we really need gimmicks, right? Do we really need them? Like, technically, we don't. I've become kind of accustomed to them now. It's like very weird, but it's similar to, if you guys have ever played World of Warcraft as an example, they often add in these borrowed power systems, which only last for about one expansion, and then they just take them and they shove them away, and basically makes it so that everything you did was a waste of time. The one thing I liked about Megas was that Megas felt like they were going to stay, right? But with the introduction of Sun and Moon, there was no new Megas. There was not a single Mega Evolution introduced. There was no new Megas at all, which made it feel like, oh, wait, so we left Megas behind totally, but then they came back in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and we thought, okay, Megas are still in the play. Megas are still possible. But they didn't continue with it, and it just seems a little bit odd that they introduce stuff and then just get rid of it. It's just not fun, right? Now, of course, I'm not advocating that we should have, like, every single gimmick all in one game, because that would be too much, and it wouldn't make those games unique in their own way, right? Like, what makes, like, Oras and X and Y unique is that they, that was when Megas were introduced, and those games have Megas. And, of course, what makes Sun and Moon unique and garbage is the fact that Z-moves were in it. And what makes Galar, what it is, I guess, is the fact that it features, the Dynamaxes, the Gigantamaxes, which, again, I'm not a big fan of either. But my point is, like, having all the gimmicks in, it's impossible, okay? You can't have Dynamaxes and Megas and Z-moves and everything. It's impossible. It's too much. But if there is a new gimmick, it would be nice to have a gimmick that isn't super gimmicky per se, but like an actual feature that could be a long-lasting feature going forward. Like an actual feature that would be nice to keep. Like, as a feature, for example, the open world. The open world from, Legends Arceus, let's keep that. Let's not just take that and chuck it away for the sake of standard routes. Like, let's keep the open world ID going, which we're going to get that in Scarlet and Violet seemingly, but keep that. Don't just, like, throw it away after doing it one time because, hey guys, we did it one time, no more. Like, they always do that. They give us something, we like that thing, or we don't like that thing, then they just take it and shove it away. I think megas were lost because a lot of people complained. There's a whole thing with like megas being basically created through murder, but that's besides the point. My point is, I don't know. I think like Dynamaxing wasn't fun. Megas were fun. Some people hate megas. Some people love Z moves. Some people hate Z moves. It's whatever. My point is, I don't think they should put all of the stuff into one. But if they do make a new feature, make one feature and then improve on it, right? Don't just put in a new feature and just shove it away the next game. No, put a new feature in and improve on it, right? Like if we had megas, imagine how megas would look like today if they had like balanced them more and worked harder on trying to make them like better or added more forms to it. Megas could have been perfect. They could have like balanced it out perfectly to work much better. Add to it. Don't just shove it out there, make a half-assed attempt, and then just, you know, forget about it. You know, it's just not fun. But ladies and gents, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gents.